Hey, hi, and we are off Friday, September 24th. Armani and Edwards, the bottom line here on Woodwards Sports Network. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, the man, the myth, I was going to say the Edwards. How you doing, my friend?
All those, they do apply to me. That is me. I'm doing good, man. Especially I got my boy Fish in the booth, got the Ryder Cup shirt on, man, supporting the Ryder Cup. So I'm excited to watch that this weekend. Michigan State football. Be with you guys Friday. I'm having a good one, man.
There is something special about a Friday show in the fall. I don't know if it's the anticipation of all the football that, you know, gets consumed. I mean, I'm going to the Michigan game tomorrow. It's the first Michigan game I'll be going to since 2019. Obviously, last year weren't able to attend.
Wasn't
those
the first
games.
one you were invited to this year?
No,
That's all I'm saying.
I will say,
wasn't the first one you were invited
Braylon
to.
Edwards has invited me to 3 Michigan games this year. And you know what?
No, maybe.
Put the old Frank Caliendo on him there, but you know, sometimes you just, you know, you got to do what you got to do to stay married, I guess.
You know what fall brings, though, and I'm understanding why we're so excited about it, especially men. Fall brings football. Football brings tailgate. Tailgate brings tailgate food. Then fall also brings October, which goes next with November, which brings Thanksgiving. December follows. So I think it's that time of year where you can watch football and eat good.
The great Tom Mazaway along with us as well. All right.
All right. Welcome in, guys. It's Friday, man.
Good to see you,
Beautiful out. Tigers' last homestand. College football. Lions. Let's go.
It's your favorite time of the year, I know.
No doubt.
And we're going to have a great guest today coming up in hour number 2, the top of hour number 2. Sean Mcdonough is going to join us. He is one of the big voices on college football. He'll have the broadcast of the Michigan Rutgers game. And, of course,
he's been great for some years, man. He's been great for years.
Braylon, he's the lead voice of the NHL on ESPN and ABC now as well. How about that?
That might make me watch some more games this year.
The lead voice of the Boston Red Sox. Braylon's all into hockey in 2021.
Hey, at one time, he was the youngest guy to broadcast the World Series. And then who took over for him? Joe Buck.
And we'll see. No, that's the wrong Buck.
That's the wrong Buck. Papa Buck. But Joe did it one year back in against Texas, I think it was.
Obviously, we're going to ask you, Sean Mcdonough.
Texas versus the Cardinals, man.
That's right,
Thanks for that dynamite drop in there, Fish.
Thanks, Bonnie.
We're going to talk to him about the U of M MSU botched punt as well. I mean, even though you're sitting on the, you know, we're sitting here with 3 Michigan guys.
You couldn't wait.
Well, I mean, we're sitting here with 3 Michigan guys, but that call is a broadcast. Like, I love broadcasters. I think, you know, we all have our favorites. For him to get that call so correct in the moment, even down to naming Jalen Watts Jackson, who was all due respect,
a special teamer.
Thank you. Polite way to say it. Wasn't exactly a household name back then. To call that on the spot,
never played again,
was one of the greatest calls of college football, I think, the last 20 years at least.
Yeah, it's so hard. You know, we do it on, you know, just on the show, like being on the show and trying to get our points out and make sure we hit the right points. Like sometimes it's so flustering when you have so much coming out and you might stutter, you might miss a word, you might mispronounce a name. For him in that moment, that's way bigger than the moment of us being on the show, for him to get his name right, for him to get that call right, for him to just provide the excitement that if you were listening to it and not watching it, you knew exactly what was going on. There aren't too many that could do it as good as he did it in that moment, so I agree with you.
So we'll talk to Sean Mcdonough coming up at 3 o'clock, hour number 2, if you're not watching live. Also, last night, the Carolina Panthers, now 3-0 on the year, 24-9 winners over the Houston Texans. What do you say about Sam Darnold? 23 of 34, 304 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. This guy, 3-0. All the Jets fans, you know, are saying to themselves, Braylon, what in the world did we do to this poor kid?
Well, you know, it's a different system. He's not up there with Adam Gase, and they're trying to figure out New York, and they don't know who they are and trying to figure out coaching. He's down here with Matt Rule. Matt Rule puts Joe Brady. Joe Brady came over from LSU after that tremendous run 2 years ago with Joe Burrow, and they're just giving him easy situations. Like, he's not doing anything over the top great. Like, he's not throwing the ball down the field for 400 yards. He's not finding DJ Moore for 75-yard bombs. He's taking what the defense gives him. He's little pass passes to Christian McCaffrey, who has a hamstring nag, and getting space yards after catch, getting the ball open in the zone to DJ Moore. A little bit of play action. As soon as you throw the ball to Christian McCaffrey, everybody's going to spy on that and open it up with some zone passing, some stuff on the sideline. They're just making it very simple for them, and they haven't really played great teams yet. The defense is playing well. I mean, that defense is really getting after the quarterback. Another 4 sacks yesterday, led by Morgan Fox. Like, they now have 14 sacks on the season. They're number one in the NFL at getting to the quarterback. So I like what I'm seeing out of them, but take it with a grain of salt, because they were only 7 points in the end of the first half, and with a missed extra point, it could have been tied up at the end of the half to the Houston Texans, and it almost was. So you still have to take it with a grain of salt, and you still see the strip sacks by Sam Darnold, still turn the ball over. 3 strip sacks, but he only lost 1. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, and I don't know where I can put them yet. I can't put my finger on it, but they are 3-0.
No, I see what you're saying about that. I mean, I don't know if anybody's putting the Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl just yet, but
they're in the playoffs.
A win is a win in the National Football League, and you can't take that away. And I will say this about Darnold. He seems to be a player, and we talk about this very often on this show. Everybody in the NFL has talent. If that guy, that talented player, isn't with the right coach, in the right scheme, it's a career changer. Braylon, we say this about your career. If you were drafted by the San Francisco 49ers instead of the Cleveland Browns, you'd be a Hall of Famer. Situation. You'd be a Hall of Famer. But
right, Jeff Garcia.
Or if you're drafted to a team that has 1 quarterback for 5 years, as opposed to
I wouldn't be up here with you.
13 quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're here, but honestly, honestly, you played with 11 quarterbacks in 4 years. Yeah. I mean, where you get drafted is every bit as important as when you get drafted.
It not only is it, because you're 100% correct, it's where you get drafted, where you fit into that piece. We've talked about Reggie Wayne. We've talked about a couple people that are now Hall of Famers because they fit into a piece.
Is Reggie Wayne a Hall of Famer if he doesn't play with Peyton Manning?
Look at John Lynch.
No offense, Reggie Wayne.
What if John Lynch is drafted to a team that plays man-to-man? Like, John Lynch isn't a man-to-man safety, but he drafted to Tony Dungy's system.
Tampa, too.
The other thing about it, too, 100%, the other thing about it is getting drafted or being on teams where a coach will take care of you. Matt Rule and Joe Brady are taking care of Sam Darnold. He feels comfortable. You can see it. You can see I don't even want to use the word swag. You can just see it in the comfortability, the way he calls plays, the way he does the play action, the way he ran for the touchdown. Things are becoming very simple to him, and that's because Matt Rule and Joe Brady are taking care of him, and he feels good about his existence with the Carolina Panthers.
Bit of a silly question here, Maz, but do you think more coaches in the NFL coach to their style and try to fit the player into their style, or the coach tries to find out what the player does best and then coach to that? Because it's a huge difference.
The better coaches do that. They go to the team's strengths. The Lions in the past wanted to force their thing on the team, and it didn't work. Sam Darnold is tied for the league lead in touchdowns right now, rushing touchdowns. And I want to take you back to the 70s. Jim Plunkett was drafted by the Patriots. They were the worst team in the league. Never heard of him again. Then he went to the Niners. They stunk. Then the Raiders took a chance on him. Dan Pastorini breaks a leg. Jim Plunkett wins 2 Super Bowls. It's all where you got to be. It's all where you find out. And Sam Darnold looks like he's got that swag that he could have had when he came out of USC and the Jets took him. Everybody was like, oh, Jets are going to the Super Bowl with this guy.
Another thing that you're looking at, and I was just scrolling down because I remember seeing this yesterday, the average age of the NFL coach, like the average age of the NFL coach now is 44 years old. Like, there are a lot of coaches that are in their 40s, early 40s at that, and there's some in their 30s. So I think you're seeing, back in the day there was the traditional coaches. There was the Marty Schottenheimers and these guys that want to fit you into their system. Now these coaches are younger. They understand the game. They understand that, hey, if I'm going to take Lamar Jackson, I'm not going to pass on Lamar Jackson because he doesn't fit into what we do. Or I'm going to draft Lamar Jackson. I'm going to force this circle into this square. I'm going to draft him, and I'm going to create an offense that's very similar to the offense that he ran in Louisville and make him comfortable. That's what you're starting to see out of the young coaches in the NFL. They get it. They get it. Why pass on a great player or force a great player not to have a chance to be great?
I certainly don't want to put Sam Darnold in the Pro Bowl just yet, but again, with the swag that you see him play with these first 3 weeks, I don't think you can help but say to yourself, how in the world does Adam Gase get another job in the National Football League? You ruined Ryan Tannehill, and you thought you ruined Sam Darnold. Now, he's got the last laugh. He's collecting all that money sitting on the beach right now, not doing a thing, so good for him. But at the end of the day, I don't know how you give that guy another job in the NFL, seeing what Tannehill did in Tennessee and now what Darnold's doing in Carolina. At some point, it becomes a you problem.
He almost got hired at Alabama as offensive coordinator, Gase. And he'll get another job.
He definitely will.
He will get another job.
And the other good thing about watching Sam Darnold and Carolina Panthers and that offense and what they're doing is they're starting to get other guys involved. You see they got Trimble a touchdown. Trimble is a tight end out of Notre Dame, 3rd-round pick this year. They haven't got Christian McCaffrey going. I think he has a nagging hamstring, so we'll see how that plays out following weeks. But they haven't even really got it going. Christian McCaffrey was the best running back in the NFL 2 years ago, right? And he hasn't gotten going. Trimble's a young tight end.
Speaking of him,
it could get better for Carolina.
You mentioned Christian McCaffrey. I do want to point out that last night he hurt his hamstring. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. J.C. Horn, really good player, broken foot
best defensive back in the draft this past year.
No doubt about it. Broke a couple of bones in his foot, so he'll be out for an extended period of time. But we've got a great show for you today, guys. Sean Mcdonough coming up at 3 o'clock, top of hour number 2. We're going to talk plenty of Michigan and Michigan State throughout the day, but next we'll get to the Detroit Lions. Calvin Johnson going to be honored tomorrow. He'll get his Hall of Fame ring. CJ, you'll hear what he has to say. Then, of course, we've got some news and notes on the Lions. Dan Campbell talking about Jamie Collins. Mark Brunell talking about Jared Goff. Lots of Lions talk as well. We're packed on a Friday in the fall. It is football, fall, and fun here on the Armani and Edwards program.
Woodwards Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Papa Romano's handcrafts pieces has made them a Detroit favorite for over 50 years. Count it, 50 years. 50? I'm talking about house. I've been talking stuff about it. Oh, man, just look at this. House-made dough, hand-cut veggies. I mean, look at this. I'm talking pineapple. That's what I like on my pizza. I'm a Hawaiian pizza guy. I got the pineapple, fresh, the bacon, the pepperoni. This is what Papa Romano's does. I love you guys. Right now, paparomanos.com.
I just called for delivery. Look at that.
That's it, Joey. Good job, my man.
That's what I'm talking about, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, where you going with that thing? Where you going over there?
Going over the ride. And we're back.
Hey.
Papa Romano's came through. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we love that. Great stuff, guys. Thank you to our friends at Papa Romano's. We certainly appreciate the support here at Woodward Sports Network. Let's talk Lions and Ravens. Lamar Jackson was out this week with a little bit of a stomach bug. That's worth pointing out. Not sure what his status will be for Sunday. I assume that he will play and he will have north of 100 yards rushing and a couple of 100 yards passing.
Sorry, I left you hanging. I was still eating that pizza.
Yeah, no, I got you, buddy. They'll put up 40 on the line.
He looked happy when I watched him in practice. They had the camera on him earlier today. He looked happy. He was still smiling. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't think something's going to bother him too bad.
Without question. Big day, though, I say tomorrow, on Sunday for Calvin Johnson. Calvin going to be honored. Here it is. The Pro Football Hall of Fame saying a preview of the Kay Jewelers Hall of Fame ring excellence that Calvin Johnson will receive this Sunday at halftime of the Lions game. And, of course, Calvin then tweeted out this Sunday, who's coming. There is the ring if you're watching on YouTube and Twitter.
That's nice.
That's the Hall of Fame
That's worth the price of admission right there.
You know, and I think it gives Lions fans an opportunity to say goodbye to Calvin Johnson, too, or to say thank you is a better way for me to say that because, of course, you know, Calvin retired, I don't want to say abruptly, but there wasn't the just, goodbye ceremony or anything like that. It was kind of like a Barry Sanders situation where Barry left him hanging at the altar the night before training camp, but Calvin, at least there was talk of him retiring before the season started, and he ultimately did, and he never got that final roar from the crowd. And the Lions fans never got that final roar to show him appreciation. I think they're going to show him a lot of appreciation at halftime, and deservedly so when they see him.
Just wait till Sheila gives him that check on Sunday. She's going to come out with that big check for like $3 million bucks or so.
You think that's going to happen?
Well, that's what Braylon and I discussed. I think it'll be the best thing.
I said 1.6. I'm trying to get the 1.6 recruit back. If it gets to 3, that's cool, but I'm trying to get the 1.6. I think another thing about that, and you hit on a great point, is the way in which it happened with Calvin. I think the fans that were not on Calvin's side, the fans that were kind of, well, if he doesn't want to be here, those type of fans, I think this will give them a moment, because the majority of the fans love Calvin and appreciate what he does, but there are those couple. I think this will give them a moment to sit back and just remember what he did and the great player that he was and the way he sacrificed his body for the Detroit Lions week in and week out. And even when they weren't high on themselves, Calvin was high on himself as a Detroit Lion. So I think it'll be a good moment, and some of those fans can say, you know what? He really did come through for us, and maybe I'm sorry for the way that I was feeling 6 years ago.
I think that's a great point, Braylon, too, because I think when Calvin Johnson retired, I think I was one of those guys that was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean your hands are all mangled?
Until you see him, until you touch him.
Until he shows you a picture and he's got fingers going every which way, and he just can't do it anymore. I don't know if you could fully appreciate. You can.
Yeah.
I can't. Surprisingly, there's only one professional athlete on this
Let's see that
desk
pinky,
right now.
Braylon. Let's see that pinky.
No, that's actually, this is my hand, and my pinky doesn't move. This is what a wide receiver hands looks like from a professional level. And you're 100% correct, because a lot of times individuals will see me on the street, you see me in the studio, and you say things like, oh, man, Braylon, you still got it.
Right.
You look like you still could play. Meanwhile, I remember I went to get my line of duty, which is something that you can apply for in the NFL if, based on your years played and how banged up you are. They do skeletal and x-rays and show you x-rays of everything and MRIs. Man, you looked at the skeletal, it does not look anything like what you see on the outside. Neck's messed up, bones in my hand are messed up, wrists messed up, parts of my shoulders are messed up. So, when somebody says I had to hang them up, you got to pay attention to what they say versus how you feel.
I think it's a really important point, because nobody other than the individual themselves or somebody that's got an adjacent experience like yourself can fully appreciate what somebody's body goes through who has essentially a car accident on every single play for 9 years, and that's just in the NFL. That's not counting college and high school and Pee-wee and all of those different things. So
6'5", 230 with a 40-inch vertical. Every time Calvin Johnson went up for a pass and came down, that's a lot of height, that's a lot of weight coming down, that's a lot of trajectory, that's a lot of torque. Every time he goes up, boom.
Forget about getting hit.
Yeah, just going up and coming down.
And spanking on the ground there, for lack of a better way to say it. Guys, nobody's given the Lions a chance against the Ravens this week. One of the units that is just atrocious is this linebacking core. What?
They're going to win on Sunday.
Get out
10-7
here,
Lions
Fish.
are going to win.
You better stop smoking that D-Max strain or that T Grizzlies gas that they're selling at Levels. You better put it down. I learned my lesson last week. Don't you fall victim, Fish.
Look, I hope you're right. I think this team could use a win, that's for sure. I think this team definitely could use a win, but I don't know if that comes this week. I think a lot of people are excited to see, Derek Barnes, the fourth-round pick in 2021. I think a lot of people are excited to see Jalen Reeves-Maybin, the fourth-round pick in 2017. You've got a couple of fourth-round linebackers that people are excited to see at least give a chance to see if they've got anything against this dynamic quarterback named Lamar Jackson, who will run roughshod over the league, but especially against a linebacker unit that can't play.
Yeah, I want to see the Lions because they did do some things well in that first game against the 49ers, mainly second half stuff, especially fourth quarter, getting the ball back, scoring points, getting the ball down the field with Jared Goff, running the ball actually in the first half. They had a great first half against the Green Bay Packers last week, so they have done some things well. It seems like they found a receiver in Quintez Cephas that they can get the ball to him, feel comfortable about him being able to move the field, move the chains, and the running game. Jamal Lewis, DeAndre Swift. You saw him jump over the defender at the end of the game last week. I know it didn't count for anything except for the fact that we know he's healthy. So there are some things I'm looking to see out of the Detroit Lions. The problem is Lamar Jackson by himself is enough to beat the Lions, and that's the problem. Lamar Jackson's the MVP. You've seen what he's done, like the rushing yards, the passing yards. Like, him by himself is such a special player. He can beat the Lions by himself, and that's the biggest problem going into Sunday.
Yeah, and the Lions make no secret about the fact they're trying to trade Jamie Collins, a veteran linebacker. Dan Campbell had some thoughts on that earlier today. Here's what he had to say. Dan Campbell on the linebacker, Jamie Collins.
You know, he's played a long time in this league. Appreciate him in the offseason getting his weight down. You know, was doing what we asked him to do. His attitude's been great. All right, it has nothing to do with any of that. Just felt like it was time for a reduced role, and I have too much respect for him to do that. And we felt like it was time for Barnes and Reeves-Maben to play more. And so this is really why we made the decision that we're making or trying to move forward. So I wish him the best of luck. We'll work through this, and it's time for Barnes and Reeves to go. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. You know, we're just letting this thing play out right now. We've got suitors right now, so certainly we're hoping to have this done sooner than later, but we're not necessarily putting a timetable on it either. We've had open communication with Jamie. You know, we sat down, told him straight up, and he's been good. You know, he understands.
And just a correction, that audio from yesterday, I just wanted to make that correction.
Yeah, the good thing about that is, you know, watching Dan Campbell, you're looking at a former player. That's the first thing you have to look at when you listen to Dan Campbell. He's a former player. He's a guy that understands these moments, these situations. He understands how Jamie Collins is. He understands the best way to approach Jamie, or he understood the best way to approach Jamie about the situation, how they feel, wanting to move forward, wanting to let them know that they want to put him on the trading block and see what they can give for him. Like, that's the best thing about having a former player sometimes as a coach, is because you've been in that moment, so you have empathy for the player, and it comes off professionally. I think that's what, you know, Maz as well as you have been talking about that Lions franchise for forever. Mm-hmm. Just talking about being professional, treating players right, and I think this is a sign of it, showing the former player in Dan Campbell, the head coach now, whose representation of the front office with the Lions treated Jamie Collins the right way. Jamie will have nothing but positive things to say about his experience in Detroit, at least I think so. I like seeing that moving forward, talking about creating that identity.
You know, there's going to be suitors, as he said. I believe the suitors will be the Patriots. I think they'll take him back. Matt Patricia's there. And I think that's that was their big guy. Remember when they had that free agent class? Mm-hmm. Wow, we got Jamie Collins. He's going to Patriots. We're going to get a 7th-round pick for him, and we're going to pay the freight. That's just the way it goes. They want to move on. I don't think he's like a malcontent type of guy. You heard Dan Campbell say he's not, you know, disrupting anything. But why wouldn't you hang on to him then? If he's not disrupting anything, why wouldn't you hang on to him just for a little depth?
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I will refer back to the conversation we had about Sam Darnold earlier today. Scheme and fit. Does the guy fit your scheme? Does he fit what you're trying to do or not? And we always make fun of these guys going back to the Patriots. That's where they fit. That's where these guys fit. That's how they're coached. That's how their scheme. That's where they play their best, because that style that these particular players play,
I wish it would have worked.
Fits that scheme.
I wish it would have worked, because we were just talking to Lomas yesterday, and we were talking about having that guy that's been there, having that experienced guy, having that leader. Jamie Collins is a Super Bowl winner. Mm-hmm. Jamie Collins had success at the highest level with the New England Patriots. So he knows what it takes on that defense to get it going. He knows how to grind later in the seasons. So I just wish it would have worked from that standpoint, because I forgot to bring this up yesterday. He would have been a guy that I wish could have been that guy. But, you know, farewell to him, and I hope everything works out for Jamie Collins as well as Dan Campbell.
I didn't like the number change to number 8 either as a linebacker.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Can we go back to the old numbers, please?
Ridiculous.
Number 8 as a linebacker.
We're not going backwards, man. They were 8 in college.
Right. Yeah, hey, we were 8 in college. Pretty good. I do want to make mention of this. Mark Brunell had some thoughts on Jared Goff as well. And take it for what I think we've seen Jared Goff play well in spots this year, but I mean, You got to play well the whole game, I would say. But here's what Mark Brunell had to say about his
someone
quarterback.
to throw to, too.
Yeah, that would help. Jared Goff.
Well, I'll start with Jared. This week has worked very hard. We feel like we have a good plan in place, things that he does well, that our offense does well. Obviously, you go into every game with confidence and knowing that you have a chance to win, because you do. And it's been a good week of practice. We need to finish strong, of course, with today and put on the finishing touches tomorrow before we play. It's a good football team that we're facing, as everybody knows. We are going to have to play at a very, very high level and clean up some things, some mistakes that we've made in the last couple of weeks. If we do that, I feel pretty good about where we're at.
All right, so that's Mark Brunell, quarterback coach, talking about Jared Goff. And I don't think Jared Goff is the problem on this team right now. Is that fair to say?
You say you think he is?
No, I said I don't think
He's
Jared
not.
Goff is the problem on this team right
He's had some mistakes, as they have, as the whole team has. I don't think he's a problem. I think he made some mistakes that he wish he could have back against Green Bay, but he's definitely not the problem. The thing I like about that interview is I played with Mark Brunell my last season with my 2010 season with the New York Jets. I remember his career with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, he's a great talent. He was a great player in this league. He was a great guy, older guy, but you commanded that respect. Fun guy, but will tell you like it is. And I think that's what Jared Goff needs. He needs a guy that can be in his ear, tell him the good stuff, tell him the bad stuff, but tell him in a way in which he keeps his confidence. Tell him in a way that he's not berating him. Tell him in a way where his confidence level stays there and it's moving, the needle's moving to the right. So I like that Mark Brunell is his guy in that quarterback room.
All right, that'll be the last word on that. We're going to get into some college football again. Sean Mcdonough going to come up about 30 minutes from now. We'll talk to him. He's got the call of the Michigan-Rutgers game on ABC, so we'll talk to him about that and his new duties being lead voice of the NHL on ESPN, so that'll be extra special as well. All right, guys, Michigan-Rutgers. Big Ten season starts. We'll get into this and Michigan State and Nebraska. Lots of college football talk coming for the next 30 minutes. This is Armani and Edwards.
Woodwards Sports Network, the bottom line.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for our studio sponsor, good friends, MyBookie.ag. This Saturday, that's tomorrow, head to MyBookie and get in on the UFC First Blood promotion. Any fighter on the main card bleeds, you win. You see blood, you get paid. This bet's centered around the 5 main card bouts, including 2 title fights. You know the octagon not going to stay dry for long. So check it out. Make some easy money with MyBookie. Head to MyBookie now. Use that promo code Woodward. They'll start off with a double deposit bonus. That's Woodward to double your money so you can double your winnings with MyBookie. Not all. How about you can deposit now? You get a free entry into MyBookie's $50,000 NFL Survivor pool. I have taken the Ravens this week. Just wanted to let you know, I hate betting against the Lions, but that's my pick. That's a double deposit bonus, free money on the UFC, and a free shot at $50K. That's what I call a winning season. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, call Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline, 888-223-3044.
All right, gang, right here on Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network. It is a Friday.
Yes, sir.
The sun is shining. The weather's
Yes,
going to
it
be
is.
great for the next week. Braylon, my goodness.
I'm excited, man. You know, it's looking at the Ryder Cup. See US, they're up 3-0, 3-1 right now, so it always puts a smile on my face. I'm a big golf guy.
They're having some fun there at Whistling Straits.
But I know who I want to have some fun tomorrow. It's Big Ten season for the Wolverines, man. I want to see what they do against Rutgers.
Look at that for a transition, Maz. This guy's going to be a host before long. I'm telling you.
He's already there.
He don't even
I
need
like
me.
where I'm at. I like where I'm at.
He don't even need me.
No, yes, I do, buddy. Don't you go anywhere. I like
Do another Papa Romano's read. Maybe another pizza will come in. I'm hungry.
Where did that go?
Where the hell did it go? Where's my slice?
I had like a half a slice and it was
They
taken.
took it from
We
you.
don't have long enough breaks.
Fish, go get us pizza.
Stole it from you. Oh, Fish, you stay in that booth and you keep doing what you're doing in there, please.
I can get you pizza.
God help us. Guys, Michigan Rutgers this week from the Big House. 4th straight Michigan home game. I do think that's worth
Shout out to the old school logos.
How about that?
Look at Maz working.
Aren't those great?
That is a great
I can't take
logo.
credit for them. I look for them. It's college football home, CFB home, and you get all the old logos. And, of course, that's where I'm going on Twitter.
You did some legwork on
Yep,
that.
I love it.
But here we go, guys. A couple of unbeaten teams going at it. And for Michigan, it's another opportunity to get off on the right foot in the Big Ten season. They've had lots of success against Rutgers, but this is a Rutgers team that I don't – look, Michigan's a 20.5-point favorite.
Says enough, right?
And I just hate that number because, it's almost like you're taking the win for granted. I don't think you take wins against Greg Schiano's team. I think Greg Schiano's a good football coach. And before long, that Rutgers team is at least going to be an above-average team in the Big Ten.
They almost beat them last year.
Right.
Yeah, he's a really good coach, and he coaches his players a certain way. He's one of the still tougher, harder coaches left in college football. This is a 3-0 team for a reason. It's because they're well-coached, they're disciplined, they've been putting points on the board. What I want to see out of Michigan, they've been doing everything right. Like you watch the Western game, Washington, Northern Illinois, they've done everything right thus far. Every time we had a concern or every time we wanted to say, well, can you do this, they've answered the bell. So they've done everything right. This is what I need to see out of them against Rutgers. Now that we're in Big Ten play, you've got a team with a quarterback in Verdrell that has scored 40 points or more in 2 games. He scored 60 once earlier this year. Verdrell's thrown for 335 yards once, I think, last game I want to say. You got an offense that can put points on the board. I want to see a dominant defense. Michigan has, each game they've had 2 quarters where they haven't allowed a point. I want to see a dominant defense. I want to see Aiden Hutchinson and Ojabo. I want to see them getting to Verdrell. I want to see them causing him like panic and fury. I want to see him throwing interceptions because the DNs and outside linebackers are getting to him. I want to see the DBs, man-to-man coverage, locking guys down. I want to see them in the receiver's face. I want this to be such a dominant game that now people have to talk about how good nationally Michigan's defense is. Not just Aiden Hutchinson, but Michigan's defense as a whole. I need to see that. And also, continue what you're doing with playing players as you're getting this big lead. I like seeing what Jim Harbaugh said, and 100 players played in the game. That's freaking ridiculous. That's freaking ridiculous. Like, the more you can give players experience, like, this is in-game experience. This isn't two-a-days. I mean, training camp. This isn't, I guess two-a-days is training camp. This isn't training camp. This is in-game experience that is pivotal going into the end of the Big Ten season. So I need to see that, and special teams is the other thing. I need to see some good field goal kicks, some good extra point holds. I need to see consistency out of Moody and maybe a kick return or 2. You see, I didn't mention offense because I know offense. It's nothing to talk about offensively. Defense, I need to see dominance.
And I think that's really, for Michigan, what it's almost like I want to see something new every game. So I saw the run game in the offensive line in week 1. Then in week 2, I wanted to see the passing game. Well, I didn't see that, but we saw the good defense. Then in week 3, you saw the passing game. Now you want to see the defense just dominate. I mean, Michigan's early schedule has set up for them
to learn themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. To have an opportunity to kind of use these games as preseason games, essentially, Maz, and get better moving forward for this moment, for the Big Ten season.
What's going to make you happy? A 78-0 game?
Oh.
Is that what's going to make you happy?
Have they had that before? Let me see.
Nice setup, you guys.
Look at this. So
nice setup.
This was the 2016 game.
Yep.
And the deal on this was Ruth's Chris ran a promotion that said the margin of victory for Michigan, Rutgers, would be the % off your bill at Ruth's Chris. So Michigan kept going hog wild, for lack of a better way to say it, 78%. And ultimately they did not get that 78% off. They said, we'll do it. We'll give you half off, 50%. That's where we capped it at 50%. And of course, he had his milk with his.
You know what the
steak.
good thing about?
Oh, that looked good.
You know what the good thing about when they do promotions like this, especially at places like Ruth Chris, is they don't include alcohol. And that's usually where they make the most of their money.
Right.
They see the big wine, like the wine bottles,
Not on me, they don't.
The aged wines and alcohol. So that's where they make the bulk of their money. So they were still getting it somehow. I guarantee it was in that department.
But again, I am very pleased with what I've seen from the Michigan Wolverines so far through 3 games, and I think you just want to see more of the same. And just to go back to that stat, and again, I forgot if it was last week or through 3 games, but over 100 players have played game action for Michigan football this year. That is a remarkable number.
I don't know if that's ever been done. The other thing I love about the way the schedule is shaping up for Michigan is not only do they play Rutgers at home, 3:30, get a chance to beat up on the Scarlet Knights, they get a chance to go home and then watch and recruit as Notre Dame and Wisconsin play each other. That's a heck of a game for Wisconsin to play Notre Dame and a quarterback, Cone, who's had a pretty good year thus far. That's a very good measure marker for them. So they'll be able to look at the Penn State game early in the year and then look at the Notre Dame game this Sunday as well as Monday and all week. So I like how their schedule is shaping up.
Michigan State with what seemingly is a tough game now. It's a night game. I really like the Spartans this week, but you never take any game for granted in the Big Ten season. Michigan State home against Nebraska, 7 o'clock. We'll do that one next here on
I got some notes for it, too.
You got some.
I got some notes
You
for Michigan
got
State
some,
and
buddy.
Alex.
Here we go. Armani and Edwards on a Friday.
Woodwards Sports Network, the bottom line.
Do you know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 5-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
There was a time in history not so long ago that we wondered which jobs were essential and which weren't. Well, I can always tell you now that this is an industry that is always essential. It is the heating and cooling industry. It never stops. Always essential. Keep that in mind.
I put my heat on today.
Exactly. And then next week, you're going to put your air on.
Yes, I am.
If you want a career in an industry that is always essential, all you got to do is get to your laptop, look at your phone, and go northwesterntech.edu. Complete the program there, and you are coming out much stronger on the other side. You are always employable, and you're probably going to get a job even before you graduate. northwesterntech.edu. There you go, gang.
Nice job by you,
How
buddy.
about it?
Nice job.
We
nice
are
job.
excited, and we appreciate
Golf clap.
Northwestern Tech's support here on Woodward Sports. It's how we
Pay the bills and keep the lights
keep
on,
the
baby.
lights on. I love that,
You gotta keep
Braylon.
them
Hey, those
man.
kids come out of that program making a lot of money.
So I'll
A lot.
I told you this story a couple of weeks ago. It was a gentleman who I know that works at an appliance repair store. It's
Okay.
a big name appliance. I don't want to say it.
My dishwasher
on
is
here.
having some problems lately. I might have to talk to
Exactly.
you. Might have to get with you.
So what he said is we have 3 open positions right now. Starting salary $76,000. So he's like, you go to Northwestern Tech, you come out, you work for us for $76,000, and it's remarkable. I mean, you get a really nice.
It beats that $15,000 that you came out working. Wasn't it 15.5?
15.5.
See, I got 15.5. I forgot the 5.
15.5. That's what I started.
I mean, disrespect the 5. I'm
Hey.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Where's Alex? Alex just ran out of the booth.
Well, seriously, man. I mean, that's a great career. Okay, guys, Michigan State, Nebraska. Got to get to this one before my Spartan friends beat me up.
Uh-oh.
But look, this is a game I expect. And another good job, Maz, on the old logos. Got to say.
Look at that Husker.
This is a game I fully expect Michigan State to win. I do expect Michigan State to be 7-0, but they do have a couple of tough games. This is a night game at home, should win the game. But as Maz says, and Braylon, I know you feel this way too, Nebraska's going to be no pushover because the quarterback's playing pretty decent right now, Martinez.
Here's what I want to say about Michigan State. I'm going to keep this very simple. I'm going to keep this nice and sweet. Whenever Michigan State has had chances to become the national team, like what I mean by national is like Michigan State's a national program, but they're not national in the sense of big dogs. When you think of a big dog, like even when they were really good, like once we started and we start giving them some hope, they won a Rose Bowl. We said, okay, you know what? They're in there. Let's put them in there. Then they start losing. Then they lose to Alabama. And then they lose to Oregon. So my big thing with them is don't beat yourselves. Don't worry about the national appeal and worry about your roses and, your notoriety around the 50 states, 48 contiguous. Just play ball. Like, this team can't beat you. Nebraska doesn't know who the hell they are. Martinez is bound to give the ball over to you. Yes, they're 2-1, but they're still struggling. Like, they haven't had any consistency on offense. The defense doesn't get to the quarterback. They're not a team that can beat you. You have one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten. You have the best running back right now in the country. Your defense, which is the defensive line.
Did you hear that, Michigan State fans? Say it again for everybody
best
here, Braylon.
Running back in the country. One of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
Thank you.
The D-line, who's coached by Kevin Vickerson, who played at Michigan State, who I play high school ball with, he's got those guys getting after the quarterback, and they're mean and they're aggressive like they were in 2015. Don't go out there and lay an egg. There's no reason for you to. Don't think about anything else but beating the brakes off of Nebraska. Don't let this turn into a 2015. Maz, I know you remember that. Alex, I know you remember that. 39-38, that rings some bells. They were playing a sorry Nebraska team.
Was that this one?
No, they were playing a sorry Nebraska team, and Michigan State allowed them to win. That was the only loss they had this year. Don't let doubt. And
I remember
that 39-38. They let some seep in, and it was worrying about Alabama, and they were worrying about Oklahoma and the teams, and we'll do this, and they lost to a sorry Nebraska team. Don't let that happen tonight, because I got you guys to blow them out.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Make it simple.
Michigan State plays their best game, and Nebraska plays their best game, and the Spartans win by 17 points.
Just make it simple.
They're only favored by 5, though.
Right, which is odd. I do find that to be a little odd.
It's because Nebraska played Oklahoma tough last week.
Yeah.
And it's Michigan State.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued by that for whatever reason, because I do expect Michigan State at home at night to just blow the pants off of
To our
Nebraska.
friends at Barstool Sports, Michigan State, was that okay? Was that good?
I will say this too, and I don't want to go too crazy here about this, because Kenneth Walker is right now among the best running backs in the country.
When he's shown he's the best. Like, we can only go by what we've seen.
What we've seen. He leads the nation in rushing. I will say, as far as the Heisman Trophy is concerned, in the last 20 years, only 3 running backs have ever won the award. Yeah. Reggie Bush, Derrick Henry, and Mark Ingram. All 3 of those, 2 national championships, 1 loss in the national championship. So all 3 running backs that won the Heisman had their teams play in the national championship game. So it's nearly impossible these days, by this standard, in this day and age, for a running back to win the Heisman Trophy. I just wanted to point that out.
I don't think a running back will ever win for another running back to win. It's going to have to be like a Derrick Henry year. He's going to have to play at school like Ohio State or Alabama or Clemson. He's going to have
just be in the national championship.
He's going to have to run for but he's going to have to run for 2,000 plus. Because I can run you down some stats of some running backs that just purely got played. Melvin Gordon. Have you ever looked at Melvin Gordon's stats at Wisconsin? He had 2,400 yards rushing, 28 touchdowns, and he didn't win the Heisman. So you got to play at a team. And it's got to be a team that's favored to win the national championship. I think in order to win the Heisman as a running back, you got to put up 2K, and then you have to be on a team that's favored to win the national championship. That's the criteria, I think, for a running back to win the Heisman.
If you look at the Big Ten schedule this week, outside of the Michigan State-Nebraska game and the Notre Dame-Wisconsin game, kind of quiet here, Braylon.
Yeah, I'm looking around, and it hasn't been the action-packed week that it's been in the past couple of weeks. It started off really hot for us with that Minnesota and Ohio State game was a very good one, and then Georgia and Clemson. But yeah, this is a cooled off week. I don't think we can get heat every week, but I think you can find some silver linings in there. I'm interested in this Michigan State-Nebraska game because I want to see how Michigan State comes out. Like, I want to see if Michigan State really believes in themselves like a lot of other people believe in them. I think that Wisconsin-Notre Dame game is going to surprise you. Like, I think it's going to be a good game. It's in Chicago.
Yeah, that game I'm looking forward to.
That's going to be really good. It's in Chicago.
What do you like in that game? Let's save it. We have our pick segment later. My bad.
You know who I like, though.
Save it.
It's almost a home game for the team I like.
Notre Dame.
That way.
Yeah. It is. It's a home game for Notre Dame.
Chicago and South Bend are like, damn, it's an hour and a half away, hour and 20
something. Ohio State not challenged, Penn State not challenged, Iowa not challenged. Michigan, I think they're going to be challenged. I think this is Michigan's first test. I do. I don't think this is going to be just roll over and play dead and you'll win the football game.
Now, why is Vegas have them at 20.5?
I don't, because
it's
maybe the
up 3 points.
Maybe because the two corners are out.
Right.
Because the two corners are out, or maybe it's just being a scorned Michigan guy all these years and knowing that Greg Schiano, ever since he left Ohio State, you know, when you're around greatness, and when he was around Urban Meyer and Ohio State in that program, he's around greatness, man. Well, you know, I mean, you instill those things, you take those things to the program that you go back to. He had success at Rutgers, and maybe I'm building Rutgers up too much, but I just don't think they're not the 78-0 doormat anymore.
I understand that, but Michigan's not the same Michigan anymore. You don't have, and what I mean by that is it's not the Michigan team that has had losses and that knows that they've been at the bottom and now they're at the top. Like, this is a Michigan team that just knows themselves. They know the new coaches and Mike Hart, Ron Bellamy, Mcdonough. They know the energy. They know they're putting their foot on everybody's neck. They're excited. They don't know how to get off the gas. This isn't a team full of preseason All-Americans or guys that are going to be high draft picks. This is a team of guys that are banding together, and they're working because they're listening to their coaches. They're acting as a unified unit. Well, I guess that's a double negative, but they're acting as a unit. They're acting as one. They're the sum of all parts. They're making it happen right now. I don't think that stops because they're young and they're having success, and their coaches aren't going to let them stop having that success, and they're seeing what's working for them, and that's 8 guys in on the tackle, that's getting to the quarterback, that's catching the ball, that's running the ball, that's mauling guys down and pushing the line forward. Like, I'm telling you, I think this is another butt whooping because I like the way they're playing football. I don't think they put the foot off the gas.
Hope you're right.
You think the Michigan coaching staff, with Jim Harbaugh, you think he understood that they way underachieved in his stint here yet? Do you think was he embarrassed, because he does look like a different guy this year? He does.
I think he was too loyal and too stubborn. You know,
I don't know about the first one. The second one, definitely.
You know, loyal to his guy, loyal to his assistants that he hires.
He was bringing in guys all the time. Yeah, and like just paying them more.
Just
Pep Hamilton.
Yeah, right. But that's what I mean. Loyal to guys that he worked with previously or something like that. I don't know. And so stubborn. Once you make a decision and you realize it's the wrong one, the good ones minimize that immediately or as quickly as possible. The bad ones, they dig in on those decisions and they don't evolve. We talked about it with Bill Belichick yesterday, Brady's trainer, saying that Belichick never evolved. Harbaugh really never evolved here at Michigan until this year, and he's got around a lot of young talent. Yeah. He looks invigorated.
Yeah, he's back at his playing weight, first of all. And you saw last week, we played that clip from the locker room. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. I mean, I'm believing again in him now.
Yeah.
Maz, you said that you used to be a blackjack dealer, correct?
Yes.
I think this Harbaugh in the beginning was like that guy that comes to the table and that has a bunch of chips, and he's playing, and it gets taken, and he doubles down, and it gets taken again, and he just keeps doubling down, and he keeps doubling down. And finally, he just couldn't take it anymore. And luckily, before it got too late for the program, which it almost did, and for himself, I think he heard the whispers about him around Michigan. I think he heard the whispers nationally. They were loud nationally, talking about him, his ability to coach, his ability to get a quarterback here. I think he cleaned house as it related to the egos, and maybe he finally just let go of the egos. I don't need these individuals. I need some guys, some young guys that are hungry, that want to coach the right way. Let's win the right way. Let's get back to what? Michigan football. That does exist, and you're seeing it on display. And he's having a heck of a success right now.
And we'll keep it going. All right.
Who's got it better than us?
Nobody. Hey, guys, gonna do Man Chill Out next. Some good ones, too.
Man,
I mean, I think all of us have some good ones here. So we'll do that next. Romano and Edwards.
Woodwards Sports Network, the bottom line. Boom.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey everybody, it's Maz for Legacy Partners Insurance. Nobody likes to shop for insurance, but we all need it. Forget those TV commercials. You go to a local company that knows the local insurance market. You go to Legacy Partners Insurance. They're an independent agent, so they have the carriers compete for your business. If you need personal insurance like home or auto, they have 7 to 10 carriers fighting for your business. If you need commercial, they have over 50. They've been doing it for over 100 years, so you can trust their reputation, and it costs you nothing. 586-209-4106 to give them a try, or you can go online. We have our own website for you, legacypartnersins.com/Woodward Sports. Fill out a little information and let someone from Team Maz start to save you money, maybe hundreds or thousands of dollars a year. I've seen it happen. Legacy Partners Insurance, tell them Woodwards Sports sent you.
All right, we certainly appreciate Legacy here on Woodward Sports Network. Give them a try. I've still got to do that, Maz. You got to set me up with that.
I got you, man.
All right, I want to do that next week.
Let's do it.
All right. I'll save any kind of money I can, please. Please, these kids, this wife.
We got you, man.
Hey.
We got you.
It adds up.
Hey, do you have life insurance, by the way?
I don't even know.
See, I mean, us guys, we don't pay attention to that stuff.
I don't even know.
And you got to pay attention to it.
We don't know.
You need a little something, something.
I know. I need all the help I can get.
You do.
Hey, guys.
You certainly do.
Yeah. Time now for something we like to call Man Chill Out.
You think it's funny?
Chill, Daddy.
Pack your bags, get the hell off. Now, do you understand what you did?
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
That is absolutely right. All right, guys. So earlier this year, when the NFL draft stuff comes out, you prognosticate where your team is going to end up. Obviously, the Lions need a quarterback. Perhaps, or at least the prevailing thought is they're going to draft a rookie quarterback next year with like the top overall pick or a top 5 pick. And Spencer Rattler's name comes up all the time. And I say all the time, if you draft Spencer Rattler in the first pick of the NFL draft, you're going to just continue picking first in the NFL draft for years to come. Just don't like him as a player. He's a poor man's Kyler Murray, and I don't even know if he's a poor man's Kyler Murray. Just don't think he's that good. Makes too many mistakes for me. So I always say, though,
great name, though.
Great. There's this kid from Liberty you got to watch out for. This kid from Liberty that you should watch out for. Everybody said, "Oh, you're crazy, Armani. You don't know what you're talking about." He's like the 5th best quarterback on all these preseason lists. 5th best quarter, 4th best. Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, insert name here. Well, I say check out
Rittler at Cincinnati.
Check out this kid at Liberty. He's got a great highlight tape. And now look at him, folks. Pro Football Focus ranks the kid from Liberty, Malik Willis, QB1. QB1, Malik Willis from Liberty. Give me now. You want to take Malik Willis first pick? I'm telling you. You may think I don't watch Liberty. Let me tell you, I watch a lot of Liberty games. Okay, a lot.
Is this right?
Oh yeah.
I've
seen Malik Willis play. This kid is the real deal, and this kid is going to make some general manager next year very happy and very secure in his job. It is now nice that everybody has caught up to Malik Willis. He is QB1 now on the NFL draft according to Pro Football Focus. So I say to all of you who said to all of me that I know nothing about what I'm talking about, man, chill out.
I love that your Man Chill Outs have become you versus the fans. It's like it's you versus the fans.
Always.
I love it, though. Maz, you up?
Yeah, Maz has to go because Braylon is going to be last today. Maz is up.
I'm on, man, and I'm going to go to the Jets again. Yesterday, we had that punk kid punking on my Jets on the video. And you know what? He was right. I mean, the Jets were horrible on that particular play. But I'm going to talk about last night's game. Thursday Night Football featuring the Panthers and Sam Darnold. Jets gave him away. Bag of balls they got back for him. After taking him number 1 just 3 years ago with USC. Saquon Barkley, of course, went the pick before him with the Giants. Everyone said, wow, Giants, why don't you take Sam Darnold? Jets took them. They're going to the Super Bowl now. Well, we all know what the deal was. Adam Gase was their head coach, really was over his head, and kind of lost this kid. This kid, and you've heard Braylon talk about it, against the Patriots alone, he was like, said he was seeing ghosts. He was lost. They send him away. He won 3 games with the Jets the previous year. He's 3-0 right now with the Carolina Panthers. He is tied for the league lead in rushing touchdowns. And the Panthers are probably going to head to the playoffs because the last time they started 3-0, they did it 7 times. 6 times they went to the playoffs. They got a good shot now. 3-0, Sam Darnold looking good. Yeah, he's not throwing 80-yard bombs to Robbie Anderson.
He won't even look at Robbie Anderson anymore.
No, that was his former teammate.
It's like they weren't even friends in
Yeah,
New York.
that was his former teammate.
Everything gets exposed when people get traded
Gives
together.
them PTSD
They either
a
get
little
closer
bit.
or further apart.
I just want to say, Jets, man, and I love Robert Saleh. I love him. And I like the new kid they have. I do. Zach Wilson's going to be a terrific quarterback, God willing. But you had a quarterback, and you let him go for nothing. Sam Darnold, I hope, just like I hope Matt Stafford does well, I hope the best for you. Hey, Jets, you are killing me. Man, chill out.
Twitter's been absolutely hilarious about this Jets Sam Darnold situation.
Yeah,
you know,
it should be.
There was a point out there. Some Jets fan tweeted out that he's like, "Okay, so we could trade Zach Wilson and a 2nd-round pick to Carolina for Sam Darnold."
Of course,
That's not a bad trade. That's not a bad trade.
Carolina did all right. That's what I got to tell you. You know, weren't they one of the teams that tried to get Matthew Stafford?
They had a deal in place to get Stafford. Stafford
turned
didn't
it
want
down.
to go
He didn't want to
there,
go to Carolina.
and negotiated his own deal essentially to the Rams.
He might be sorry.
Nah.
Probably
I
not.
think he's doing okay.
He's doing okay.
Only thing he might be sorry about those California taxes. Outside of that,
right.
but he makes enough money
Right.
where it doesn't even
Kelly
matter.
don't like them taxes.
Hey, I'm
she
trying
don't
to tell
like
you,
any of the mandates out there in California.
I guess it's up to me now, man. So my man chill out is in 1927 they started this event called the Ryder Cup, and it used to be USA versus Great Britain. And then in 1933 it became USA versus Great Britain and Ireland. Well, USA dominated. They dominated for years. They dominated so much that they changed the format in 1977 to USA versus all of Europe. Now, if you're wondering what's the ratio of that, well, there's 328 million people that live in the United States of America. There's 748 million people that live in Europe. Seems like a discrepancy issue. With that being said, in the 12 Ryder Cups, the last 12 Ryder Cups, Europe is 9-3. They are giving it to USA. It is not even funny what they are doing. Keep in mind, we usually have 5 of the top golfers in the world every year. It still doesn't matter. They take it to us, and they had the audacity to show up at Whistling Straits yesterday, which is in Wisconsin, with cheesehead hats on representing Green Bay. So you know they came to troll the United States of America once again. So I say to USA or whoever agreed to the deal in 1977 to make it versus all of Europe and an extra 410 million people, man, chill out. It's cheap. It's cheap.
Nice.
There is something special about the Ryder Cup, though. I mean, the great event
If
at
you're
Oakland.
from Europe.
Yeah, right. The great event at Oakland Hills.
Yeah.
Look at Fish's shirt today.
I love
I know.
it. We gotta
Fish, show us your shirt.
Show us. Give us the shirt. There it is.
There
The
it
Ryder
is.
Cup, baby.
Look at
And
that.
his shirt is still correct because they did not play the Ryder Cup last year in 2020. So that is actually an accurate shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like the 2020 Olympics
Oh,
played
man.
in 2021.
Which I would normally get that, but the problem is the Ryder Cup is changing to odd years after this one, so it doesn't make sense why
Are they
they're
gonna have a
calling
Ryder
it
Cup
the
next
20.
year then?
No, they're gonna change it. They're gonna go odd years again.
okay.
So they're gonna go 23, which this date right there, I'm short.
Well, they
doesn't
probably
make sense.
Well, they probably
because-
had all the gear already printed.
It's like,
They're
take
not
this
gonna just
stuff.
throw it away.
I'll get one.
They could just boop, 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 barcode it and gone one.
You know the best place to find like Olympic gear after the Olympics is over? It's like TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
Like Mervyn's. They always have the stuff after it's over and nobody buys. You get like some nice jackets, Ralph Lauren.
No doubt. How about the losing teams on World Series and Super Bowls? They have shirts for both
you have
teams.
to have it ready.
They send those to like a third world country.
So
boxes
yes,
and
they do.
boxes.
We had
of
some
them.
twice for the Jets,
they-
the AFC Championship that I never saw.
They
I wanna
do.
get in
They
still.
said one of my prized sports possessions I actually just lost in the recent flood back in June.
Oh.
Man,
it
sorry about
was,
that, buddy.
it was.
Then we did all the painting.
Yeah, it was. I did all the painting.
I remember,
Oh man,
I remember.
It was a basketball. It was a from Rawlings or what Spalding. It was that had the Pistons 2005 NBA champions. Pistons beat Spurs in 7 games
look at that.
because that was a 7th game thing that they had to have both.
They didn't see
situations.
Game 5, huh?
Well, they went to 7 games,
I remember.
so they had to have both situations ready. I unfortunately lost that. It was in the water and the peels came off and
I
unglued.
was so mad at that Game 5. We were so exhausted from expending everything that we had to win Game 6.
Yeah,
we didn't have anything for Game 7.
They had a situation too where they had the lead in that game with 3 or 4 minutes to go in San Antonio. 2005 NBA champion Detroit Pistons. I've kept that ball just for whatever reason. I mean, because
I feel bad for one person on that team, Antonio McDice.
Yeah,
because he wasn't on the team the year before.
Man. Dice. And he came to Detroit
for
to
that.
win a championship.
He helped us out tremendously.
Hey, guys, we're going to take a 30-second break. When we come back, the great Sean McDonough on the line. We'll get to him. He's got the call of the Michigan-Rutgers game. We'll do that next. Romano and Edwards.
Woodwards Sports Network, the bottom line.
Opa! Introducing Papa Romano's new Greek pizza, a tasty blend of bold Greek flavors and Mediterranean toppings, including feta cheese and Greek dressing. Get a large Greek pizza for a limited time for $16.99. Order now at paparomanos.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Get it out. Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I just like goosebumps. I just had goosebumps. I mean,
me too.
In the call,
How do you not?
How do you not? Right? but the call was so special. It was so great. You're sitting here with 3 Michigan guys on this show replaying that call because of how good it was.
You were at the game, weren't you?
No, I was
there.
I actually left my house early to go to a wedding that night and was watching it on my phone.
I left right after Michigan forced Michigan State to punt the last time. I said, cool, we're done. I left, and I told you the story. We won't have to get back into it, but man.
I lost my appetite.
So let's bring him in. Sean McDonough, the great Sean McDonough, has the call for the Michigan-Rutgers game this week. Sean, we play that. You're sitting here with all Michigan guys. I'm sure you've talked about that clip ad nauseum before, but what was going through your mind when you that was all unfolding?
Probably that it was the most unbelievable ending of any sporting event that I've ever done. As I said, unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And, I think you realized as it was happening, or maybe right after it was happening, that, it's going to be an ending that's remembered forever. And not just by Michigan and Michigan State people, but I have people come up to me all over the place all the time who have no connection to either school and can recite the call or tell me where they were when they were watching it. So it was unbelievable, and it was fun to be a part of it. You guys are much nicer than most Michigan people who mention that play. Most of the time they say, like, you were a part of one of the worst moments of my life. And I would say, if losing a football game was the worst part of your life, then you've had a pretty good life.
Right, give me that life.
Man,
That's a good run.
That's a heck of a line right back to it. But I get it, though, because I know there's a lot of Michigan State fans that are upset at Mike Tirico for how he called the Michigan State game in 2004. They think
Who caught 3 touchdowns in that game?
No, it's not about me. We were talking about the analysts. Great to have you on, Sean.
Thanks. It's great to be with you guys. You know, I always say don't kill the messenger, right? I didn't care who won that game. I have Michigan State people come up to me all the time. I had one guy come up to me in an airport and say, you got to listen to this. And he played his phone, and that call was basically his voicemail greeting on his phone. And I've had people send me T-shirts that have been produced up in East Lansing that have the whole call written out, excuse me, on the front of the T-shirt. So, it's if it happened the other way around, it wouldn't have changed the call. I would have been every bit as interested in it. But we really don't care who wins or who loses.
Absolutely not. Talking to the great Sean McDonough.
Unless it's Syracuse.
Well,
now we're talking.
When the Cuse is in the house, oh my God.
Absolutely. On the call this week with Todd Blackledge for the Michigan-Rutgers game. And Sean, this to us looks like a much different Michigan team than we've seen over the last couple of years. In your prep for this game, what have you seen out of the Michigan Wolverines? What do you expect to see this week in your conversations with Jim Harbaugh, perhaps this week in any sort of prep?
Yeah, I do think it's a different team. By the way, how does my camera work? I'm looking at this tiny little thing on my phone. I see a lamp and a... It's
perfect.
You're good. You're good.
You are perfect, Sean. You are perfect.
We only see one chin.
It's not a flattering angle, but I think you're right. I think it is a different Michigan team. There's just a real palpable positive vibe and energy around them. I think the way they played these first 3 games, we talked to Josh Gaddis, and we're talking about, establishing an identity, being a running football team. He didn't like the word identity because, as he said, your identity could be that you're really lousy at something too. So it's not necessarily a positive, but I think what they are establishing here, the way they want to play, their ability to do it, has given them a confidence that they can continue to do this regardless of the opponent. And I think they can. I think this is a really, really good Michigan team that's going to have a special year.
Hey, Sean, I'm not going to be so much of a homer. I'm going to get out of the state of Michigan. I want to ask you about the landscape in college football, and this actually is something that Ryan has pointed out again and again and again, and I'm actually becoming a believer. What do you make of this being a year where everyone seems beatable? Like you look at Oklahoma, they almost lose. You look at Alabama. Alabama doesn't look so mighty and powerful. Ohio State has lost. Their defense is atrocious. That's just my thoughts. Everyone in college football this season seems to be beatable. Like it seems like the scales have finally tipped in every conference's favor. Everyone looks beatable. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think you're right. And I wasn't so sure I would have said that after we saw Alabama in their opening game. Our group had their game against Miami down there in Atlanta in the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. And you thought, my goodness, how could they be anywhere near as good after they had, 6 guys taken in the first round or whatever it was. And one of the great offenses, maybe the best offense in the history of college football. But, they came right out rolling. Bryce Young looked as comfortable as he could possibly be from the first snap of that game, making his first start, taking over from Mac Jones. But, and then I remember we were in Georgia last Saturday night walking by the TV in the press box and seeing that Alabama was ahead of Florida. I think it was 21-3, and thinking, okay, yeah, they're going to roll them. So I was surprised when I came back later, and it was a really tight game. You have to give Florida a lot of credit for that. But I think you're right on. They're beatable. They're not as good as they were last year. I think they're a little better on defense. But they're probably not as good as they were last year. And Ohio State doesn't seem to be. Clemson definitely isn't. Georgia's legit. We had them last week. I think they're the best defensive team in the country. I can't imagine, based on what we saw last week, anybody plays defense better than they do, and their offense is better than it's been. JT Daniels is certainly a good enough quarterback, I think, to win a national championship with. They're a little undermanned right now at wide receiver, but they're going to get some guys back. So I think this might be the year they do it.
Talking to Sean McDonough, he's got the call of the Michigan-Rutgers game on ABC this week, 3:30. Of course, voice of the Boston Red Sox, and now the lead voice of the NHL on ESPN. Sean, I mean, look, we are
the Red Wings going a little bit. So
man, we just had D-Mac here a minute ago.
We work with Darren McCarty here. He'll be excited to talk to you.
Yep, that's exactly what we were talking about. Like, we here in Detroit love hockey. We believe we are hockey town. Yeah. We are excited that the NHL is back on ESPN. How different is it to call an NHL game? I mean, you've called everything before. How different is it to call an NHL game as opposed to any other sport?
Well, it is different, and I think it is in some ways difficult, Ryan. You know, the puck moves really fast. In a lot of these press boxes, you're a long way away from the ice, and it's hard to identify the players. And, you know, we've done a couple of practice games, and, you know, sometimes the names aren't all that easy to pronounce. I guess the best practice I ever had for that was in '98 when I was still at CBS. I did the Olympic hockey in Nagano, Japan. And when you're doing, you know, China versus Russia women's hockey, you learn that the names better roll off your tongue. Or at least, as I said to Darren Pang, who I was doing those games with, and John Davidson, whatever I call them, just call them the same thing, because their parents aren't watching and nobody's going to know. So the hockey's great. I grew up in Boston. You know, when Bobby Orr and the Big Bad Bruins were in their prime, you know, every kid on my block wanted to be Bobby Orr. And so, you know, I've loved hockey my whole life, and was hoping for the last 16 years that we'd get it back, and now we have. And I agree with you, Ryan. I think this is going to be great for the hockey fan and for the NHL. I think NBC did an excellent job. But, you know, we have the platforms to give them much more exposure than they've had in recent years, and I think to help grow the fan base, because to me, hockey's never been better. You know, the game is faster. I think the rules have contributed to that, but just the skill set of the players. And, you know, I think the players are faster and more skilled than they've ever been.
Although you had that tremendous play call for the Michigan State game, which was still heartbreaking, that wasn't my first introduction to you, Sean. I want to read you something. You tell me, does it sound like something you remember? Nixon bunts, Timlin on it, throws to first. For the first time in history, the World Championship banner will fly north of the border. The Toronto Blue Jays are baseball's best in 1992. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, that was my first World Series for CBS, 1992.
You broke my heart.
That was quite a year, because in the playoffs that year, it was Game 7 of the National League Championship Series was the Sid Bream, Francisco Cabrera, you know, Sid Bream scored.
Where were you when Sid slid?
6 inches, maybe. You know, it was one of the great games, I think, in Major League Baseball history. MLB Network had a series, Baseball's Greatest Games, and I think they said that was the number 4 Major League game of all time. So I was lucky the 2 years that we had it, the baseball rights that I did when I was at CBS with Tim McCarver. You know, we had that year. Toronto
Joe Carter
won the
next
World
year.
Series, and then they won again in '93 on the Joe Carter home run, which was just the second time that the World Series had ever ended on a home run. So I thought, Braylon, you're going to ask me about one of the great football games I've ever done was Texas-Michigan in the Rose Bowl, which was a phenomenal game up and down the field, and won, I think, by Texas on a field goal with no time left or something like that. But an amazing game. It was like 37-35. I mean,
37-38. Yeah, I chose the other one. We already had one Michigan loss. We already had one Michigan loss. But I'm born and raised in Detroit, and when my mom remarried, we moved to Lithonia, Georgia. So the Braves became my team. I'm talking watching regular season, postseason, and you know it was heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak for Bobby Cox. And I remember that play called live in '92, where I was only 9 years old, but it was a tough one. It was a tough one.
Sports fan extraordinaire.
I hate to say they underachieved. I mean, they were in the playoffs every year, but to only win one World Series with that cast seems like they probably didn't maximize it. But those were fun teams to cover. You know, they were a good bunch of guys, too. The Greg Maddoxes and Smoltz and Tom Glavine and Chipper Jones and Mark
Steve
Bucky.
Avery.
Yeah, Steve Avery. You know, just a really good bunch of guys in addition to having some terrific teams.
Hey, Sean, it's Maz. Thanks again for coming on with us. Hey, I know you think baseball would be your favorite sport to call?
Do they hide you like in a
They do.
security
I'm in the
closet?
back. I'm in the back. You see me?
We have him in the back.
He's got a good view.
I got a
over
lounge
there,
chair. I got a lounge.
I was worried about my background here in my hotel.
Sean, you got to come visit us here. Lots of talent.
Lady James about to like rent out racquetball equipment at the Y. So I don't know what's going on there.
We have a studio in a place called Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. So if you wanted to get your hair,
know much about
I know, I understand that. I'm holding on to scraps, so I got nothing. But I want to talk to you just about baseball in general before I let you go, because I'm the baseball
Can I
junkie
comment
here.
first on your shirt?
I know. Go ahead. I'm sad.
No, as you guys know, I mean, one of the great human beings who's ever walked the planet is Chris Spielman. And if there's anybody who can help the Lions get back to get to where they want to be, it is my main man, C. Spiel. He is the absolute best. They don't come any, and if it can be done just by sheer will and desire, never mind great football knowledge and all that stuff too, he'll get it done.
I always say it. He's my favorite Lion of all time, and that includes Barry Sanders. I love number 54, but baseball, who do you like?
I don't know a better person, and I don't say that lightly. I do not know a better person than Chris Spielman. By any standard you judge a person, whether it's by his faith or the way he treats his family. He was an unbelievable partner and friend to me and still is. Great teammate on TV. And, he's just the best. They don't come any better.
I know. Awesome. We're glad to have him here, although he was pretty good in the booth with you. But we're happy to have him here.
Yes, he was. And so is Blackledge. They're a lot alike. I mean, they are so much alike that it's kind of scary sometimes.
Hey, you got Yankees Red Sox this weekend, too. Who do you like to win the whole World Series this year?
Wow. Tough to go against the Dodgers or the Giants. One of them is going to have to play in a one-game wild card, which is phenomenal, considering that they're both going to wind up with 100-plus wins. But, they've been the two best teams this year. Yeah, I think one of the great things about baseball, it seems that most of the teams now are either really good or really bad, and that's not a good thing. There's very little in the middle, and actually, I guess the Tigers would probably be one of the teams that's sort of in the middle, right? They're not bad, but
next year they'll be there.
Not really good. But most of them are like the Baltimore Orioles or the Washington now and Arizona. There's too many really, really bad teams. But I think most of the teams that are going to make it to the postseason would have a legitimate chance to win. Most of them have that frontline starting pitching that
throughout the season.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that is great stuff there. Sean McDonough. We're going to take a break. Thanks to Sean McDonough. We'll watch him this weekend on ABC. He's got the call with Todd Blackledge and great stuff there on Chris Spielman too. Sean McDonough, awesome stuff. Big fans of his. We're going to take a break. Come right back. Armani and Edwards.
Woodwards Sports Network. The bottom line.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
That was great.
That was great, Braylon. That was great. That was fun.
That was my childhood, man. I was a huge Braves fan growing up, and I just remember that call like it was yesterday. It was like, dang it, another loss. Like we just kept losing, and I just felt bad for the Braves.
You love the
Braves.
Braves.
I come back home, and the Tigers is more the same.
It's we love. I don't know how you feel about this, but guys like Maz and me, we love our broadcasters.
Oh.
Like if you get almost whoever you're playing is great, and then you're like, okay, who's got the call of the game?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who's got the call of the game?
It turns me off to have a bad broadcaster.
Yeah.
Do a game. Honestly, I'll watch a lesser game if I like my guy. If Tess is doing something, I'm going to watch Tess. I love Joe Buck. I'm one of the guys that love Joe Buck. Obviously, I can tell you any announcer growing up. That's why I wanted to be in radio. It's because of
Howard Cosell.
Because Howard Cosell and all of these people.
And I do like booths that stay together for multiple years, like Mcdonough and Blackledge, like Mcdonough and Spielman for so many years.
Chris Fowler and Herb Street.
Chris Fowler and Herb Street. Steve Levy and Brian Greasy have been together for a number of years. Forget about Monday Night Football. They called college football. It's just something about the familiar voices that lend such a big game feel to coming through, where you're feeling like you're in the audience, you're in the stadium, you're there at the game.
It's a part of the experience. Like everything leads up to a consistent experience that we appreciate, that we come to know. It's just like Maz talks about, and I agree. It's just like when you hear dun 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 dun, dun it's Monday Night Football. It's time. No matter who's playing, it gets you excited. It's consistency. It's what we have been conditioned to appreciate as a whole. So yeah, it's part of the process, and it's part of what gets us excited.
Just a couple of people on the chat now on YouTube. Where is it here? I just lost it. Damon Michael, Sean is a class act. I mean, it is so great that you are fans of these people like Sean McDonough, and then they give you all the time in the world.
He never tells me no.
Yeah.
When he was on Monday Night Football, even never tells me no. He's not a guy that has his nose in the air. He's a guy that says, "Sure, I'll do it."
Doesn't that make you like people?
Love.
It makes me want to just watch the Michigan-Rutgers game to hear McDonough's call now. When you like the people too, when you know they're a good guy, like when he was talking about Chris Spielman, like. We love Chris Spielman. You want Chris Spielman to be a good guy. Chris Spielman is a good guy. You want to love Sean McDonough. Sean McDonough's a great guy. You love Sean McDonough.
Doc Emmerich.
Braylon Edwards. You ever meet Braylon Edwards? Braylon Edwards is a great guy. I'm serious. I'm just saying.
I appreciate that.
It's
like when I met Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
Like I was praying and hoping that Wayne was the great one, and he was the great one all the way around. Great, shared his time, shared stories with me. Like he was sitting next to me at the, before we really got off and going, and when we were at the restaurant. He's a great guy, and I was excited. It completed what I wanted to happen. It completed the process.
Hockey guys are like that.
Yeah, they are.
Hockey athletes, I think, are the best guys if you want to sit down and just chat with them. And
collectively.
Yeah. Dan Dickerson. And the best of all of them, Ernie Harwell. Second to none as a human being.
And it's interesting, too, because one of the best parts about this job is you get to meet so many of your idols or your heroes, however you want to characterize it. And sometimes, unfortunately, the worst part about this job is that you meet them and they're not who you think they are.
Correct.
They're kind of jerks to you or whatever. And I've got a list. I would never share. I would never share that list publicly.
When we write our book, it'll be in there.
I don't know.
We'll go out in flames.
Look, there's no win when you do something like that. There's no and look, everybody's entitled to a bad day.
This is very true.
Maybe you're in a hurry.
You caught him at the wrong time.
Yeah, maybe you're in a hurry in a line at CVS and you just don't have time to talk to somebody that comes up to you.
Can you give us initials?
No, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Fuddy-duddy.
Don't fall for Maz's tactic.
No. Look, it's a no-win. It's a no-win proposition. I mean, you would know the names.
Oh yeah, I know I would.
But it's just a no-win proposition. I will tell you, those are like few and far between, but they are there. I'll tell you, when I met Sylvester Stallone, I'm a big Rocky fan, huge Rocky fan on the planet.
Yeah.
So in 2006, he was in Detroit to promote the Rocky Balboa movie, the sixth Rocky.
The one with Antonio Tarver.
Yes, the one with Antonio Tarver. And everybody at work knew I was a huge Rocky fan, and they're like, "Hey, he's here for interviews. Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yes." And then I was like, "Oh, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want him to be rude. I don't want him to be mean.
Tell me he's good.
I just don't want to do it. He'll ruin it for me. I'm just too big of a fan for him to ruin it." He couldn't have been nicer,
and
more gracious.
About. Rocky IV is my favorite movie all the time.
He couldn't have been more gracious. I asked for one autograph and one picture in my life in this business while on the job. It was with him. He signed it. He took a picture with me. I had a picture of Rocky IV holding the American flag. It was just the best. And he said, "How do you want me to sign it?" And I automatically thought
Rocky.
I automatically thought there's a scene in Rocky 2 where he's
Black Shorts Rocky.
Beginning of the movie, he's in the hospital bed and the nurse walks up to him and says, "My kid would die to have your autograph.
Yeah.
Would you make it out to my good friend Charlie Flynn?" So the nurse walks out of the room and he says, "To my good friend Charlie Flynn, who I don't even know." So but he said, "How do you want me to make it out?" I said, "Make it out to my good friend Ryan, who I don't even know." He's like, "Oh my God, you are a fan."
You took him there.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
So,
That's dope.
yeah, I'll bring
That's a
that
great
in.
story, man.
In my Twitter bio, it says Rocky Addict.
Yeah. Oh, really? I never noticed that.
Yeah,
and Godfather.
I'll bring that in for you guys
Oh,
one
my
day.
God.
Oh, God, the
that
best.
guy.
Sly. Love you,
Now,
Sly.
Rocky 1 is my fave, by
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, now
I
we're
think
talking
it's-
about which one is the best movie, then I go Rocky 1. But my favorite is 4. Right.
2 is pretty damn good.
Oh,
Two is
they're
awesome.
all good.
They're all good.
I go
Except
1,
5.
2. I go 1, 2, 4, 3. I don't count the others.
We love
1,
you,
2,
Rock.
4, 3.
We love you, Rock. All right,
I
got to
love
get
it.
to a break.
Get
Come
up, you
right back.
bum.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers had some interesting things
Oh,
to say
did he ever?
on the Pat McAfee show. I want to address those with you, Braylon.
Let's
We'll
talk
do that
about it.
next. This is Romano and Edwards on a Friday.
Woodwards Sports Network. Bottom line, baby.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang, everyone knows by now, Levels in Centerline is open and starting right now. You can get 10% off your order just by mentioning Woodward Sports. Whether you're in the store or on the app, mention Woodward Sports to get your 10% off. Everything from T Grizzlies gas to D-Max Special Strain and edibles, all on sale right now. Download the Enjoy Levels app today and start saving. That's the D-Mac number 25 music coming back.
There you go. And we want to let you know about this. You can win a Calvin Johnson signed portrait. It is a fantastic item to have in your man cave, or hell, throw it in your living room. That's a talking piece for everybody. All you have to do is show up to our pregame show, our DraftKings rock and roll pregame show with our teammates over at 101 WRIF. Where the hell did the picture go?
Caught you reading.
There you go. The winner is going to be randomly selected Sunday at 12 noon. We'll do that there at the Tin Roof, the old Chelly's. And, of course, not only this, we've got tickets to give away. Our friends at Jose Cuervo gave us 4 seats in section 129 to give
That's
away.
not bad.
Row 6.
At the pregame show as well, Sunday. All you got to do is show up to Tin Roof.
Be there.
On Sunday from 11 to 1. We're going to give the tickets away. We're going to give the picture away.
Wow.
We're
just giving everything away.
Your friends at Jose Cuervo and Woodwards Sports.
This is what we do here, man. We try to make the fan feel part of the experience. I love it. Take advantage. Show
Absolutely.
up. Pull up on us.
The Cuervo girls will be there as well.
They will.
And the Blues will be there as well. Hey, guys, I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Had some interesting things to say about social media and players in today's day and age. He did this on the Pat McAfee show. Want to play a clip for you and get your reaction, Braylon?
How has that changed, though, from when you got in the league till now? Has it changed, and how does it feel different from how the media is or how you guys interact with the media?
It's way different age, because I think all these people who are on these shows now believe they're celebrities, and they believe that they have this platform to, use it to say whatever the hell they want, and that's how they garner the attention. That's how they get promotions. That's how they get to be on multiple networks. That's how they, get their name out there and get a blue check mark and get to go to the Met Ball and whatever the hell's going on. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the society we're in now. It's when I first got in the league in 2005 and you got in there in 2006. I mean, social media wasn't a thing unless you had a MySpace, and it was all about who was in your top 5 or top 10 if they expanded it, what kind of music you had in the background. And it wasn't about, your social media following, your likes, your, how many views on a page. I think it's different. It's all about how many impressions you can have for things that you say. So what's going to it's not going to be the relax. We're fine. This is 1 week. It was a dud. We're going to bounce back. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't move the needle for anybody. But you start saying some outlandish things about, what I did in the off season and me wanting to be on Jeopardy and not play ball and all this other, ridiculousness that Tom Fanning, told me was out there, which I really didn't see myself. I just think it's.
Shut up. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, deal with it. Like, this is society. That's what society is. Like, human beings have always done that. This is nothing new. They were doing that last year, Aaron. They were doing that 2 years ago. They were doing that the year you won the Super Bowl. Didn't say anything then. That's how radio analysts have been making their mark, making their bones for years. This is nothing new. But when you give them ammo, Aaron, like when you leave and go do Jeopardy, when you don't come back to Green Bay for the whole offseason, when you talk about maybe wanting to retire, maybe not, maybe I want to do Jeopardy, maybe not. There's some beef here with LaFleur's, and then you go after Gutekunst, who I will give you this. I'm not a Gutekunst fan either. But when you go after the team, when you don't come up there, when you hold them hostage, then you come back in the 29th hour. You come back in the 29th hour, and then the first game of the season, you guys got your ass kicked. You got your butts kicked. If that would have happened, like I'll give you an example. If you'd have been there all season, all off season, and all the other stuff had happened, and then you got dropped in the first game like you did by his favorite guy, Jameis, you would have had some leeway. We wouldn't have said anything. We would have said, hey, that's Aaron, R-E-L-A-X, relax. If this would have happened later on in the year, we would have said the same thing. R-E-L-A-X, relax. This is Aaron. This is what he does. But you put all that out there. You did all that. You had the picture with the, the ponytail and jumping off the cliffs and wherever the heck you and your girlfriend were, your fiance, with the beard belly and all that stuff. You put all that out there. So don't get mad at it now. Like, Aaron, you need to stop. You need to get back to the basics, get back to football like you did this past Monday night against the Detroit Lions. Just go out there and play football. Go out there and have fun, play football, and figure out the rest of your life. But don't do things, set things up, and then all of a sudden get mad that people say things. You made your life public. You did these things to yourself. That's how I feel about it. So shut up or get to work, one or the other.
Chill out.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
It's just annoying. Like,
well, he wants his cake and he wants a, what do you call it?
Cake and eat it too.
Eat it too.
Yeah,
he's such a crybaby. I would tell you, he's a great player.
He's amazing.
He is a great player, but if I was a teammate of Aaron Rodgers,
oh my God,
I would have to balance what kind of diva he is with the fact that he's
earned it.
He's earned that. He's earned to cry like that. Like,
what's he crying about? I don't think he's crying.
He's crying
to show up like anywhere.
It is. He's not telling it like it is. He's worried about what analysts are saying. He's worried about people with podcasts. He's worried about people with radio shows talking about him, or they're saying they're going all in after week one, et cetera, et cetera. He's talking about people are doing it for clout. People are doing it for a blue check. Like, who cares? Who cares what people are doing it for? All I care about is on Sunday, are you going to win? Thursday night? Sunday night, Monday night, are you going to win? Are you going to go out there and be the Aaron Rodgers that I've seen, like that I know, that I say is the best ever, potentially? Like, just go out there and do that and stop worrying about what individuals are doing, because I guarantee you, as soon as it's all over, you're going to have a TV show. You're going to be on somebody. You're going to have your own podcast. You'll have something, and you're going to be the same exact way.
Straight to Hollywood for Aaron Rodgers, Maz. You like you're a fan of Aaron Rodgers? I don't like him at all.
I like him.
I've
always liked him.
I never liked him for whatever reason.
Even when he beats the Lions. I mean, as much as I adore the Lions, the Hail Mary, I probably played it 75 times.
I got an Aaron Rodgers story for you. You guys ready for this?
Yeah. I want to hear it now. I'm forgetting this.
It's 2005. And you know how every NFL draft, they do draft commercials. So they do a draft commercial and they have a theme and what the theme is. So you got to go shoot that commercial before the draft. So our theme was the stock exchange. So we went, our draft was in April. We went in March and we recorded some stuff at the stock exchange, and but we had fun. We were out there for three days or so. And I'm with Alex Smith, who's my guy. Love Alex, man. We met before all the draft stuff. Got cool, and we were really cool. So he and I are at the hotel. We had just checked in, and we're about to figure out what we're going to do. Aaron Rodgers comes up. He comes up to us. Keep in mind, there have been talks about all of us being number one. All of us being number one, including Cadillac Williams at the time. He comes up to myself and Alex Smith and introduces himself. hey, how you doing? Aaron Rodgers, #1 pick in the draft. And then he did the same thing to Alex, and me and Alex were looking at each other like, all right.
I think he was sarcastic.
No, it didn't. That was it, and he walked away. Like
wasn't he the 24th pick in the draft?
24.
He was the last guy in the green room.
But I mean, he made it work. But
wow.
Like that's how he introduced himself. And Alex and I were just looking at each other like, man, is this guy serious? So then fast forward to when draft happened, and then he and I didn't feel bad for him. Like me and Alex, and we told the other guys the story. We didn't feel bad for Aaron when it happened. We was like,
that's awesome.
What about that first pick stuff? Now he had the last laugh.
He did.
He's definitely had the last laugh, but that's how we introduced. That's who Aaron Rodgers is.
What a jerk!
And he wasn't. It wasn't a joke. That's who he is.
Oh, I don't like him anymore. Yeah,
No.
I do. I still do.
I mean, I love him as a player.
Love him as a player.
I can't help it.
Not
he's
so
great.
much.
People are saying, how could I love Aaron Rodgers and hate Brady? Let me explain my
That's a good
Brady hate
question.
to you guys. He played for the Patriots.
And you're
all
a
right?
Jet guy.
That's it, man. I'm New York. He's Boston. That's what it comes down to. And I couldn't enjoy his career. That's the true hate of Brady.
Are you mad about
Michigan
that?
doesn't supersede.
No.
It doesn't supersede.
No.
Are you mad about that? That you weren't allowed to enjoy,
Yeah.
like, because I feel
I was robbed.
I feel a little bit like that with Jordan. You know,
'Cause of
like
the Pistons?
because
That's
I
awesome.
hated Jordan.
Yeah, you couldn't enjoy
so
it.
much because of the Pistons. I couldn't enjoy at the time how great he was of a player.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Only player
Yeah.
I ever hated was Claude Lemieux.
Hated him
Honestly,
too.
my sports hate of Boston.
Yeah.
I can't explain it to you.
Right.
I'm on fire right now, even thinking about it.
Well, we'll let you cool down. Got a
Okay.
break coming up.
Silly
Then we're
mom.
going to do our picks. We'll get some music. We'll do some picks. We'll see what you guys have to say. Who do you like this week? We'll do it next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodwards Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
There's an old saying that offense wins games, defense wins championships. Don't you want to win that championship for your family in your home?
I want to win it.
Well, how about Guardian Alarm, your local security experts, 24/7 local monitoring. You can detect smoke, carbon monoxide, control lights, and check in on your home from the convenient features that they offer. It is an amazing championship defense product that you need in your home. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 freaking years. You don't stay in business for 9 decades if you're doing something wrong,
You don't
right?
stay in business for 9 days.
Period.
Or maybe.
This is the defense system. Protect your home. If you want to learn more, all you got to do is call 800 Stay out!
Stay out!
What's that number again, gentlemen? 800 Stay out today. All right, you guys ready to help the people here?
Let's do it, man. Let's get
Maz
some stats.
versus Braylon. Let's do it, guys. Let's throw up the college football pick'em for tomorrow.
Look at those games.
Look at the board here as we got them. We're going to start on the left side. We'll go Rutgers at Michigan. And look, you could do it with the spread. You could do it with the
Whatever you
picks.
want. Call your
However you
number.
want to do it. Guys, I'm going to say 20.5. Michigan is a 20.5-point favorite against Rutgers. Who you got, Maz?
I got Michigan by 3 touchdowns, so they'll cover by 21.
Okay.
55-7, Michigan.
55-7. So you're going to give Rutgers 7.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's it.
Guys, Michigan State, a 5-point favorite at home against Nebraska. Braylon, you're up.
40-28.
Who?
Oh, Michigan State.
Okay.
40-28, Michigan State.
Wow. I like MSU. I'll take them 31-24.
Barely. All right, I have no idea what the line is in the next 2 games, so we'll just pick the winners here.
They're all close.
Notre Dame at at Wisconsin, although it is a home game for Notre Dame at Soldier Field. I don't know why it's a home game for Wisconsin. Why you would give up a game, well, whatever. They're playing Notre Dame at Soldier Field in Chicago. Who you got, Bray?
35-31 Notre Dame.
Maz?
I got whiskey in an upset. 24-20.
If you're a Michigan,
So we got the same point difference, just road switch.
If you're a Michigan fan, what do you want to have? Who do you want? Do you want Wisconsin to win or lose this week?
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter, I don't think.
Wisconsin's on the other side of the division. They're in the.
Well, I guess the only reason I say that is because you look at Michigan's schedule. Jim Harbaugh is 0-11 on the road against ranked teams in his career. That is something that you could get off the snide a little bit.
Yeah.
Does that matter to you for Harbaugh's sake, at least to get a win and to move a narrative forward?
If you're looking at it that way, I'd say maybe you would want Wisconsin to win this game against Notre Dame. And the reason I say that, you don't want them to lose against Notre Dame or get embarrassed, and then Wisconsin comes in furious, and now they're back at home in front of their crowd and their fans, and that gives them a little extra tempo. I want them to win so they come regular.
I very rarely root for Notre Dame, and I root for Big Ten, so go Badgers.
Yeah.
I root for Brian Kelly because he was nice to me once when I met him. That's how I judge it.
That's good.
That's how I judge it.
He was Grand Valley.
Yeah, he was. 10 years, 12 years, something crazy like that. All right, guys. Brett Bielema's Illinois Fighting Illini. Are they still the Fighting Illini?
They are.
At Purdue this week.
How did this game get on here?
I don't know who puts them on
Alex
there.
just puts his own game in.
He does his own
Yeah,
thing.
didn't we? We had Texas A&M and Arkansas on
I got
here.
good games in here.
Alex, what are you talking
What are
about
you doing?
here?
Skip this game.
Around
Let's go to the
Big
pros.
Ten.
Okay, Texas A&M, Arkansas.
Purdue, though. Texas A&M. Texas A&M is probably the
What do you got on this game,
most
too?
slept-on team. I got Purdue over Indiana.
What do you got, Maz?
I got Purdue over Indiana, and I'll take.
That's Illinois, by the way.
Yeah, or whatever. I'll
Illinois.
take Arkansas to win against Texas A&M.
split on that.
Texas A&M probably most underrated team in the country.
All right, gentlemen, let's go to the NFL. Throw up the board, if you will. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Yeah, baby. All right, let's go down the road.
Let's do no scores. Let's just do teams.
Just pick the winner.
Yeah, just pick the winner.
Pick the winner.
That's fast.
Baltimore at Detroit.
Lions.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I had another moment. Baltimore wins. I'm thinking in Detroit. Baltimore wins.
I was like, you didn't see your man Chilada Monday.
No, it's the first pick. He chose Lions. Go Lions.
No. Just you edit that out. I'm going
Ravens by 14.
Okay. The Battle of the Seas, Chicago and Cleveland.
Justin Fields
Chicago
first
an
game.
upset.
Chicago and an upset.
Chicago an
Justin,
upset.
That's not a bad call.
Yeah.
I'll take the Browns. I still think they're going to be one of the better teams. They'll get it right. They'll beat Justin Fields and the
Don't forget
Bears.
Baker's his left shoulder's injured.
I know. It's on the road, though.
Famous Jameis going to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots.
I would take the most accurate rookie quarterback of all time in Matt Jones.
You're taking the Pats?
I'm taking the Pats.
I'll take the Saints. I'm always NFC, especially over the Patriots.
I'm taking the Pats.
We're going to leave this next game last. We'll go on the other side. Indianapolis at Tennessee.
Tennessee, Derrick Henry.
No way. Make the Colts your best bet of the week. Colts will beat Tennessee and get their first win.
Why do you say that?
They need to win, and Frank Reich will somehow
Who's the
find
quarterback?
a way. I don't care. Jacoby Brissett?
A lot of things need.
I have no idea. I don't even care who quarterback.
No, Jacoby Brissett is actually starting for another team. He's starting for Miami.
That's what I said. I don't even care who's there.
Who's the quarterback?
No,
Make Indiana.
Jacob Eason.
Did you just
It's
hear what
Jacob
he said?
Eason.
So you said it
Make
doesn't
Indianapolis your best bet of the weekend.
Yep.
I don't know who the quarterback
Who's playing
is.
quarterback?
Yep.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Mark it down.
Okay, I'm gonna. We'll let the people know. How about the L.A. Chargers at Kansas City?
Kansas City, LA continues to struggle.
Chiefs can't lose 2 in a row, although the Chargers need a win, man.
That need doesn't matter.
Shootout.
Though. Like just because something needs to happen doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Thank you.
Shootout.
Kansas City.
Seattle and the Vikings. Did the Vikings get off the schneid here? That's a tough game.
I got to go with the Vikings because I just had a whole spiel about how they're going to be a playoff team yesterday. So I'm taking the Vikings in a close one.
Me too. Give me the Vikes. The Purple Gang
About
will
time
win.
you're on my team.
Hey.
San Francisco looking to stay unbeaten. I like them this weekend
Ain't gonna
against
happen.
Green Bay. What do you say?
San Francisco.
Give me the Packers, my second best bet of the week. When do you ever get the Packers as an underdog? You don't. Give me Green Bay.
I don't go
you know
by-
what? That's my best bet of the weekend.
I don't
Colts
go by
are
the money
second.
line and the best bets. I don't understand that. What I go by is what I see. And what I saw in Green Bay is still a team that doesn't know who the heck they are. And I saw in the 49ers a good team that might be better than the Rams in that division. So that's what I looked at.
Braylon, you just told the draft story from 05 about Aaron Rodgers. Do you think Aaron Rodgers, do you think players still harbor hate for an organization like Aaron Rodgers must harbor hate towards San Francisco for not picking him in 05 and making him wait that long?
Well, then he would have to have hate for 22 other teams. So I don't think so. I think he might have a deal kind of like.
Well, they have the number one pick, and you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
thought he was the number
They
one
took
pick,
Alex.
obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things like a Randy Moss. Randy Moss was mad at the 20 because Randy Moss went 23.
Lions picked Terry Fair before.
Yeah,
him.
19. They picked Terry Fair at 19. So, and Randy always remembered like all the lists, kind of like Draymond.
Yeah.
Draymond knows all other guys.
Brady
drafted in
knows
front
all
of him.
6 quarterbacks.
How about-
Brady
So
6.
I think it's one of those type
Yeah.
deals. Yeah.
And Rodgers, that was his home team and his favorite team,
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, game of the weekend. And look, I made a statement, and I stand by this statement. I think that the Tampa Bay Bucks are going unbeaten throughout the year this year. I think they're going to go 17-0. I think they're going to win the Super Bowl again if they stay healthy. I think injuries are the only thing that stops them, and not the Los Angeles Rams. What say you, Braylon? Bucks, Rams.
I think that Tampa Bay defense plays well. They haven't necessarily played great so far this season, not like they did in the playoffs of this past playoff run. I got them exposing LA and Matt Stafford. I think the Bucks win big. I think they expose LA because it's too much LA love. Everybody has them the number 2 team in the football rankings, etc., and they're giving him a pass to get to the NFC Championship. I think he gets exposed this game, and I got the Bucks in the landslide.
All right.
I got Sean McVay because he's got a little something waiting for Tom Brady and the boys in Tampa. I'll take the Rams to keep rolling with Matthew Stafford. I like him to win.
You think there's a coach out there that can confuse Tom Brady? I'm asking. I'm not making.
I'm just saying it's kind of a rematch for him. Super Bowl rematch from a few years ago, except he's got Stafford instead of Goff. I'm going with him at home in their new stadium.
I don't remember that one. How many did he stop Tom Brady at all in that game? Or
Well, they only scored one touchdown.
I'm asking. I don't remember.
They only had one big play. They had the big play.
I can't remember every
Gronkowski.
freaking game that Tom Brady's ever played. The Super Bowl has been so many.
I understand that. Their offense sucked that day. Their defense won it for them.
Wow.
That was about time.
How about it?
They're better now than they were then, though.
And so is Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
So are the Bucks.
All right, guys. So we will see. Good luck this weekend on those plays. We're going to come right back. The bottom line videos of the day. We'll do that next. This is Romano and Edwards.
Woodwards Sports Network, the bottom line.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Hey, want to get an advantage over your sports book? Of course you do. So you need to download BetQL right now, the only app you'll need to make smart bets. Their best bet computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game and the reason that you should do it. Plus, their platform's got all the data and analytics you would ever need for your own betting research purpose. Head to the App Store or Google Play Store right now, download BetQL, or go online to try.betql.co/WSN. Don't forget, enter that discount code WSN to get 25% off of subscription offerings and a free year of BetQL. Don't miss out your chance to beat the sportsbook this football season with BetQL.
Friday Night Clash. Every Friday we broadcast one of the best games in Metro Detroit on Woodwards Sports, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This week's matchup is Belleville at Dearborn Fortson. Antonio Gates, soon to be Hall of Famer from the San Diego Chargers' son, plays for Fortson. You might not want to miss that. Woodwards Sports, Planet Fitness, and the Prep. Friday Night Football, this is what we do. Once again on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Game starts 9 o'clock. Showcase your best high school athletes, student sections in Metro Detroit. Be at the game. It's at Dearborn Fortson, 9 o'clock.
I had to ditch the chair, fellas.
I heard.
I had to ditch
I'm
the
still
chair.
Taller.
I had to do it.
I'm still taller.
The footrests fell, and I can't, for the next 12 minutes, have my feet dangle.
Like pieces of meat in a butcher shop.
Literally, like this. It's just me sitting there
Like
waving.
bologna.
Oh man, back like in the. My goodness, couldn't do it. I'd be gassed after that 12 minutes.
I don't blame you.
There's no way.
All right.
Hey, before we get to bottom line videos of the day, can I just sneak one topic in here?
Go ahead, buddy.
And
We got plenty of time.
That is that the Dolphins owner, Stephen Ross, Michigan guy,
Yes, sir. Hamtramck.
still wants Deshaun Watson. So here's the Pro Football Talk on Twitter. This is the statement. Dolphin owner Stephen Ross wants Deshaun Watson. Those who run the team don't want to pay the freight on it. They don't want to pay the price for Watson's contract. Ross should just tell them to do that. That's what the situation is. Regardless of the events that led to the current situation or who is to blame for any or all of it, Texans fans should still be livid over the fact that the team is paying Deshaun Watson franchise quarterback money and he's not playing for them. He's not on any commissioner's exempt list either. Why isn't Deshaun Watson playing? I think that is now significantly an issue that needs to be resolved right now.
Yeah, he's like the highest paid person in the world that's not doing anything right now to earn that money. I don't know. I would have played him, like the way in which I would have went about it. And I understand there's friction there with the franchise, the organization, as well as Deshaun Watson. He wanted out. They wanted him to stay. Then these things came out, the allegations. So I would play him. Like, I don't understand how you're not playing your best gun. Like, Deshaun Watson is the best player on the team. You have to play him until you can't play.
Well, they got Davis Mills now.
Well,
Exactly.
look. He has agreed with the team, the Houston Texans, that he doesn't want to play in Houston. Houston doesn't want him. So that's settled.
Right.
Now you got to talk about a trade. Get me traded somewhere. The Dolphins want to do it. At least the owner wants to do it. I would believe if it's my team, I do what I want. You don't want a Mike Ditka type New Orleans Saints Ricky Williams draft situation. Well, then you know what? The quarterback's the most important position in the game. If he's not on the commissioner's exempt list, he should be on the field.
Pro Football Talk knows what they're doing. That's Mike Florio. He's on the inside. So he knows that this guy can play. Deshaun Watson is allowed to play. No one's saying anything. This was my man Chill Out the other day.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying you're just leaving people hang, especially the Texan fans and the Dolphin fans who need a quarterback.
He does have 25 outstanding civil lawsuits against him. What that means for his playing future moving forward, we don't know. But as of now, he is getting paid to sit.
Yeah.
So
the same thing that happened with Brady and Deflategate. Brady played that whole season while they were figuring it out, while they were figuring out the ins and outs of the case, getting on the case together, making a judgment and ruling on the case. And when they finally did, it was in that off season that next year, and that's when they had him sit out those 4 games in which he appealed and ended up getting 2.
Bottom line videos of the day. I'll do this first one, unfortunately, if you don't mind, Maz. I mean, I was nearly brought to tears. What do we do? Like, we're Michigan guys, all 3 of us.
All we keep showing is Michigan getting whooped.
I mean, after the the dropped punt. Now we got this for you on this day back in 1994. Cordell Stewart and Michael Westbrook shocked Michigan.
Well, they get one more play. One more with 6 seconds. I think he just went over and says, just throw it up.
The last pass is complete to Michael.
So who we got here now? We've got Caruth that can fly. You got Westbrook, who's a leaper and big and strong and can run. I would think that James Kidd would be on the field as well. Probably Blake Anderson, he's a tough guy. Next boy.
If I were the defense, I'd have a few more guys over there.
3 wideouts at the top of the picture. Stewart with time. Lets it go. He's got 3 people down there. The ball's up in the air. Caught. Touchdown. Caught by Westbrook for a touchdown. Incredible.
Oh, man, the look on Todd Collins' face.
Ooh. Guess who was at that game?
You were at that game?
I was at that game with my dad, and we made our way up.
Poor Stan.
To road, section 25. Section 25 right there at the 50. We made our way up. We got all the way to the top, and we watched just to watch, because I think we were going on one of the alumni tailgates after. And ball goes up in the air, and it comes down, and it's Michael Westbrook, who is a native of Detroit. He went to McKenzie High School, same school as Jerome Bettis. Man, my dad, I've never seen my dad that mad. Like, I've seen some losses in my life at that time, but we didn't even go to the tailgate afterward. We went straight home.
Poor Gary Moeller.
I didn't realize until you pointed it out, Maz, just how far Cordell Stewart threw that ball.
73
That was about
yards.
74 yards.
In air.
74 yards
Amazing.
in the air.
Slash was good.
That is crazy.
He had a heck of a career, too.
How about this one, Maz?
9 years ago. And guess who was at this game as well? Braylon Edwards. This is the infamous Monday Night Football game with the replacement referees, Mike Tirico on the call, John Gruden as well. They call it the Fail Mary.
Takes the lone receiver to the left. The Packers playing at the goal line. As Wilson scrambles to keep it alive. The game's final play is a Wilson loft to the end zone, which is fought for by Tate with Jennings simultaneous. Who has it? Who they give it to? Touchdown! You can't go to replay to determine who caught the ball. So that call has to be made on the field. You see the one guy go up touchdown and the other go timeout like it's a pick.
How does M.D. Jennings not get credit for the interception? I have no idea.
Deciding who wins the game on this
After
call.
further review, the call on the field stands. Touchdown. Game is over.
Seahawks win in the most bizarre finish you'll ever see.
Guess what? The refs were back the following week.
Yeah, I was at that one. That was tough.
The Fail Mary.
Wow.
That was tough. It was an interception. Like, you can see it clear as day. It was an interception. DB went up and got it. Caught it. Like, he went up, caught it over, came down with it, and then, Golden rolls over. I mean, it worked out for us at the time, but
Golden
it was an
Tate.
interception.
Maz, give me one more. Running out of time.
I'll give you one. Well,
give me the Kaline.
Al Kaline, 3,000 hits tonight in Baltimore back in 1974.
Al Kaline returned to his hometown in Baltimore. It was Tuesday night, September 24. His parents and boyhood friends were there to see his final moment of triumph.
Well, here's another ovation for Al Kaline, the Tigers' designated hitter, going for that 3,000 hit. And to describe the action for us, here's Paul Carey.
Thank you, Ernie. Al bounced out to Belanger at short, his first time up. The pitch is swung on. There's a drive down the right field into the corner. He'll be in for a big hit, maybe extra bases. Al is digging for second. He's in with a stand-up double. A two-base hit for Al Kaline. Hit number 3,000 in his fabulous career of 20.
There you go. Goose pimples.
Mr. Tiger.
How do you not?
How do you not?
It's the 49ers.
All right, gang. Great week out of you guys. Great week out of you guys, man. I hope you guys are liking what we're doing here at Woodward Sports Network. We're having a ton of fun, my friends.
Maybe too much. Nah, it's no such thing.
More to come on Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Maz. We'd love to have you out there on Sunday at the Tin Roof. It's the old Chelly's, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. We'll be out there. We're going to be giving away 4 Lions tickets, section 129, row 6. We'll give those tickets out. Thanks to Jose Cuervo, our friends there. We're going to be giving away a signed Calvin Johnson framed, just a mammoth photo.
Yeah.
It's awesome as well. There it is right there. Just such a great time out there at the Tin Roof. We invite everybody out there. We'll be doing our pregame show with our teammates from 101 WRIF.
They're just having fun, too, man.
Yeah, and
it was fun.
Braylon will take pictures with you as well.
Sure, why not?
Look at that smile.
We're having a good time out there, man.
Maz, great week out of you.
Thanks, man.
All right.
It's my pleasure.
We'll try to do it again. I'm having so much fun doing this, guys. I love you all.
Love you too. Hey, man. Sorry I yelled at you the other day, man.
Yeah, it's all right, bro.
We're all
I'm
over
sensitive.
it. Hey, tell a friend about the show. YouTube, Twitter, anywhere where podcasts are found.
Yeah.
We love yous. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
See ya.
Boom.
For Pelini's team to move up. On first down, Cook, play action, fires, near sideline, wide open is Tony Lippett, who will stroll to the end zone. And here comes the reverse. Lippett's got the ball, and he's got the edge. Tony Lippett scooting, 20, 10, cuts it back, goes in standing up. And they're